The great city of Varelia stood tall and bright under twin suns. Towers of shining metal rose high into the sky, and streets buzzed with many kinds of alien creatures. This was the capital of the Kilari Empire, a powerful and proud race known across many star systems. In the heart of this city was the palace where Princess Amara lived. Amara was the youngest daughter of the Kilari Emperor. She was known for her beauty, but also for her strong will and sharp mind. She had been trained since childhood to rule one day. Yet despite all her training, she often felt alone. The palace was full of power struggles, lies, and cold rules. Few could truly understand her. Today was not a usual day. A ship from Earth had arrived in orbit, carrying a human diplomat named Marcus. Humans were new to the galaxy's grand politics. They had just started meeting other alien races, trying to make friends and allies. Many aliens looked at humans with doubt. Humans were young and strange. Some thought humans were weak. Others thought they were reckless. Marcus had a difficult job. He had to meet Princess Amara and try to make an alliance between Earth and the Kilari Empire. It was a chance for peace and trade, but also a test. Would the Kilari accept humans as equals? Inside the palace, Amara prepared for the meeting. She sat on a tall chair in a large room filled with elegant decorations. Her advisors stood around her, whispering and watching every move. Amara felt calm but ready. She wanted to show strength and control. When Marcus entered the room, everyone watched him carefully. He looked different from the tall, sleek Kilari. He was shorter, with light skin and dark hair. He wore a simple dark uniform, with the symbol of Earth on his chest. He walked with steady steps and held his head high. Most aliens expected Marcus to bow deeply or speak very politely. Instead, Marcus looked straight at Amara and said, "Princess Amara, I am Marcus from Earth. I am here to talk about friendship and peace between our worlds." His voice was clear and firm. He did not bow or smile in a weak way. He spoke with honesty and respect. Amara blinked. This was not what she expected. One of her advisors frowned and whispered, "He is rude. No diplomat should be so bold." But Amara was curious. "Marcus from Earth," she said, her voice calm. "You speak boldly. What makes you think the Kilari will trust humans?" Marcus smiled slightly. "Because we are honest. And because we believe in courage, not only on the battlefield, but in truth. I am not here to lie or flatter. I am here to find real friends." The room grew quiet. Some nobles looked shocked. The Kilari were used to long speeches full of fancy words. Marcus's simple honesty was strange, but it also felt real. Amara leaned forward. "Tell me, Marcus, what do you know about the Kilari Empire?" "I know you are proud, strong, and wise," Marcus said. "I know you have fought many wars and built a great empire. I also know you value honor and bravery. I want to learn more." Amara smiled faintly. "You speak well for someone new to the galaxy's politics." "Thank you, Princess," Marcus said. "I believe the galaxy will be safer if we work together." The meeting lasted long. Marcus answered many questions, and Amara tested him with tricky ones. She asked about human history, their technology, and their plans for the future. Marcus answered honestly and without fear. At one point, an older noble said sharply, "You risk much, Earthman. What if your people are not ready for war or betrayal?" Marcus looked at him and said, "We are not perfect, but we learn fast, and we will fight for our friends." The noble sneered, but Amara was silent. She saw something in Marcus that others did not, a brave heart. When the meeting ended, Amara stood and said, "Marcus, you have surprised me. Many expect humans to be weak or foolish, but you are neither. I will think on your words." Marcus bowed respectfully. "Thank you, Princess. I hope we can meet again." Outside the palace, Marcus looked up at the stars. He knew this was only the beginning. The road ahead would be hard, but he believed in what he represented, the hope of a new alliance between humans and the Kailari. Back inside, Amara walked to a window. She stared at the distant ships and stars. Her heart felt different. She was used to control and power, but Marcus's courage and honesty had touched her. For the first time in a long time, she felt something new, hope. Her advisor approached quietly. "Princess, be careful. The court does not like outsiders who speak so boldly. Some may try to use this against you." Amara nodded slowly. "I know. But sometimes the bravest words come from the strangest places." That night, as the twin moons rose over Varelia, the alien princess thought about the human diplomat. She did not expect such bravery, and she was moved. After their first meeting in the Grand Palace, Princess Amara found herself thinking about the human diplomat, Marcus. His calm bravery and honest words stayed with her. The cold walls of the palace suddenly seemed smaller. She wanted to know more about this strange new ally from Earth. The Kailari had old traditions, ways to prove one's strength and courage. One tradition was the Trial of Valor. It was a dangerous test on the wild planet of Drakthar, where the brave showed their skill, wisdom, and heart. Only the strongest nobles dared to face it. The trial was watched by all the Empire. Success meant honor, failure meant shame or worse. Amara decided to invite Marcus to join her on the trial. It was a bold move. Few outsiders ever saw such a test. Many at court whispered warnings. "It's too dangerous for a human," they said. "He will embarrass us." But Amara was curious. She wanted to see if Marcus's courage was real. She wanted to see if humans were as brave as he claimed. Marcus accepted without hesitation. "I will face this trial, Princess. If you trust me, I will prove my loyalty." The day of the trial came. Amara and Marcus boarded a sleek ship bound for Drakthar. The planet was wild and harsh, full of tall mountains, thick forests, and fierce creatures. The air was thin and cold. When they landed, they met the trial master, a tall Kailari warrior named Varek. His eyes were sharp and his voice rough. "This trial will test your body, mind, and soul," he said. "Only the brave will survive." The first test was physical endurance. Amara and Marcus had to climb a steep mountain while avoiding dangers. Rocks fell, and strange creatures watched them from the shadows. Marcus surprised many. His human body was smaller, but he moved with quick steps and careful balance. When a rock almost hit Amara, Marcus pushed her away just in time. She looked at him with new respect. "You are stronger than I thought," she said. Marcus smiled. Strength is not only in muscle, it is in heart and mind. The next test was mental. They had to solve a puzzle made of alien symbols and light beams. Many Kailari nobles failed this part before. Amara worked fast, but Marcus helped her see the patterns she missed. Together, they solved the puzzle and opened a hidden door. Inside was a small chamber with soft, glowing crystals. The last test was the hardest, to face a wild creature called the Drakthar Stalker. It was a large beast with sharp claws and glowing eyes. It hunted in the dark forests and was feared by all. Amara drew her blade, ready to fight. Marcus did not carry weapons. Instead, he moved slowly and spoke softly in a calm voice. The creature watched them, growling low. Suddenly, Marcus reached into his pack and pulled out a small device. It played soft sounds and showed bright colors. The creature stopped growling. It tilted its head, curious. Amara watched in surprise as the Drakthar stalker relaxed. Marcus moved closer without fear. He reached out his hand. The creature sniffed and then nudged his palm gently. Amara could not believe her eyes. The human had not fought the beast with force, but with kindness and calm. She felt a strange warmth in her heart. The trial was over. Amara and Marcus returned to the palace. Word spread quickly about their success. Many were shocked that a human could survive the trial. Some still doubted, but others were curious. At a feast that night, Amara stood beside Marcus. She felt stronger, braver, and more open than before. "You showed me a new kind of courage," she said quietly, "not only in battle but in peace." Marcus looked at her with a gentle smile. "Bravery is different for everyone. For me, it means trusting others and standing for what is right." Their friendship grew. Amara no longer felt alone in the cold palace. She had found an unexpected ally, a human who could teach her new ways of courage and honor. But shadows moved in the background. Not all were happy with the princess's choice. Some nobles whispered of betrayal and danger. The court was a place of secrets, and soon those secrets would threaten them both. The palace of Varelia was quiet, but heavy with tension. After the trial of valor, the bond between Princess Amara and the human diplomat Marcus was no secret. Many in the court whispered behind closed doors. Some were curious, others were jealous or angry. Amara sat in her private chambers staring out at the stars. The bright lights of the city seemed distant and cold. She thought about Marcus and the strange warmth he brought into her life. But the palace was no safe place. Every step she took was watched. Her chief advisor, Lord Kryn, entered the room quietly. His face was stern and his eyes sharp. "Princess, you must be careful. The court is not kind to those who break tradition." Amara nodded. "I know, Kryn, but Marcus has shown me things I never expected. Humans have bravery. They have honor." Kryn sighed. "Honor, yes, but they are outsiders. Many see them as threats." Amara looked away. "I don't care what they think. I want to trust him." The advisor was silent for a moment. "Then you must be strong, for yourself and for the Empire." Meanwhile, Marcus moved through the palace halls with purpose. He had spent days learning the language, customs, and secrets of the Kailari. But what touched him most was the princess herself, the way she carried her burdens alone. One afternoon, Marcus found Amara in the palace garden. The garden was a rare place of peace, full of alien plants and soft light. Amara sat on a stone bench, her eyes closed. "Princess," Marcus said softly. She opened her eyes and smiled. "Marcus, come, sit with me." He sat beside her. For a moment, they shared silence. Finally, Amara spoke. "You have faced the trial and shown great courage, but you do not know the true weight I carry." Marcus looked at her with concern. "Tell me, Amara. I want to understand." She took a deep breath. "I am expected to be perfect, to lead without doubt, to put the Empire above all, but inside I am afraid of failing, of losing those I care about." Marcus nodded slowly. "I understand fear, but courage is not the absence of fear. It is standing up despite fear." Amara's eyes softened. "You speak like a true leader." They talked long into the evening. Amara shared stories of her childhood, how she trained in sword fighting, how her family expected much from her, and how loneliness often filled the halls. Marcus told tales of Earth, of its struggles and hopes. Their friendship grew deeper. They were no longer just princess and diplomat. They became two souls reaching for trust across the stars, but not all shared their feelings. Back in the palace, whispers grew louder. Some nobles saw Marcus as a threat to the old ways. They plotted to end his influence. One night, Amara's guard intercepted a secret message. It spoke of a plan to stop the peace talks and remove Marcus by force. The message came from a group called the Shadow Council, powerful nobles who wanted to keep the Empire isolated and pure. Amara was shocked. She showed the message to Marcus. They want to kill you, to stop our alliance. Marcus's face was calm, but serious. Then we must act fast. We cannot let fear win. Amara's heart raced. For the first time, she felt true danger. The palace walls, once safe, now felt like a cage. The next day, during a grand feast, Amara stood before the court. "I know some oppose the talks with Earth," she said firmly, "but I choose peace. I choose courage, and I trust Marcus." The room fell silent. Many nobles stared in shock. Some cheered quietly, others glared. Amara's voice grew stronger. "We face many threats in the galaxy. Only by standing together can we survive. I will not let fear rule me." Marcus stepped forward. "I will protect the princess and the empire. Together we can build a future." The bold words shocked many. The court was divided, but something had changed. Amara had shown her true self, not just a princess, but a leader willing to fight for what she believed. As the feast ended, Marcus and Amara knew their journey was only beginning. Danger was near, but so was hope. They had faced the secrets behind the armor, the fears and lies, and chosen to stand united. The palace of Varelia was alive with excitement and fear. The grand banquet was to celebrate the start of peace talks between the Kailari Empire and Earth. Nobles, diplomats, and honored guests filled the great hall. Crystal chandeliers shone. Bright and exotic foods covered the long tables. Yet beneath the joy was a heavy tension. The Shadow Council's threat still hung in the air like a dark cloud. Princess Amara stood at the center of the hall, dressed in elegant robes that shimmered. With the light of the twin moons, she smiled, but inside, her heart raced. She glanced at Marcus, who stood near her side, calm and ready. The human's presence was both comforting and bold, an unusual sight that some in the crowd watched with suspicion. The banquet began with speeches praising peace and friendship. Amara spoke clearly, her voice strong. "Today, we take a step forward. Together, we can build a future of hope and strength. Not alone, but united." Marcus stepped forward next. "From Earth, I bring respect and loyalty. We do not seek conquest or control. We seek alliance and understanding." The crowd applauded, but some eyes were cold and calculating. The Shadow Council was waiting for the right moment. As the feast continued, Amara felt a strange chill. She scanned the room. Nearby, a servant moved oddly, his hands trembling. Marcus noticed, too. "Something is wrong," he whispered. Suddenly, a sharp sound echoed. A flash of light, a loud bang. Chaos erupted. The Shadow Council had struck. A group of armed men appeared, trying to attack Amara and Marcus. Screams filled the hall. Guests scattered in panic. But Marcus moved fast. Without hesitation, Marcus grabbed Amara's arm and pulled, her behind a heavy pillar. "Stay close," he said firmly. Amara's heart pounded, but she trusted him. Together, they planned their next move. The attackers were skilled, but not prepared for Marcus's quick thinking. Using his knowledge of human tactics, he directed guards to block the enemy's paths. Amara drew her sword, fighting alongside her protectors with fierce determination. Marcus found the leader of the attackers, a cold man with a scarred face, aiming a weapon at the princess. Marcus threw a nearby chair, distracting him just long enough for Amara to strike the attacker down. The battle was short but fierce. The attackers were captured or fled. The palace guards secured the area quickly. Breathing heavily, Amara looked at Marcus with gratitude and awe. "You saved my life," she said softly. Marcus shook his head. "We saved each other." The attack revealed a deep threat inside the Empire. The Shadow Council's power was greater than anyone imagined. Amara knew she had to act, not only to protect Marcus, but to protect her people. In the days after the attack, Amara and Marcus worked closely with the loyal guards and trusted advisors. They uncovered secret meetings, hidden weapons, and plots to sabotage the peace talks. Amara made a bold decision. She called a secret meeting with the leaders of the loyal factions. "We must unite," she said. "The future of the Empire depends on it." Marcus spoke as well. "Humans and Kailari can be stronger together. We will fight for peace and protect our new alliance." Their words inspired hope. Many nobles who once doubted Marcus now saw his bravery and wisdom. A new unity began to form. But the danger was not over. The Shadow Council would not give up easily. Amara and Marcus prepared for what might come next. One night, as they studied plans and reports, Amara looked at Marcus. "I never thought a human could change my world," she said quietly. Marcus smiled. "And I never thought I would find such courage in an alien princess." They shared a quiet moment, knowing that their bond was stronger than politics or power. Together they would face the darkness and fight for a better galaxy. The sun rose slowly over the capital city of Virelia, casting soft light on the shining towers and bustling streets. The attack during the banquet had shaken many, but it had also changed things forever. The Shadow Council's secret plot was now exposed, and their power was broken. Princess Amara stood on the balcony of the palace, looking out at the city. Her heart was calm, but full of hope. Beside her, Marcus stood silently, watching the sunrise. Their journey had been difficult. From the first meeting in the Grand Hall to the dangerous trial on Drakthar to the attack that nearly cost them their lives, they had learned much. They had learned that courage was not just fighting enemies, but also trusting others and standing for what was right. Inside the palace, preparations were underway for the final peace talks. Delegates from Earth and the Kailari Empire gathered in the Grand Council chamber. This time, there was a new spirit, one of hope and trust. Amara entered the chamber wearing a simple but elegant dress, her eyes shining with determination. Marcus followed, his presence calm and steady. The head of the Kailari Council, a wise elder named Yareth, began the meeting. "Today, we choose a new path," he said. "We choose peace and friendship with Earth." The council members nodded. Many had once doubted the humans, but Marcus's bravery and honesty had won their respect. Amara stepped forward. "Our worlds are different, but together we can build a future that is strong and just. I believe in this alliance." Marcus added, "Earth will stand with the Kailari. Together, we will face any challenge." The agreement was signed, and cheers filled the chamber. Cameras and holograms broadcast the historic moment across the galaxy. News spread quickly. Humans and Kailari were no longer strangers, but allies. In the days that followed, Amara and Marcus worked to build new connections. Trade routes opened, cultural exchanges began, and scientists from both worlds shared knowledge. The princess found joy in these changes. The palace felt warmer, alive with new ideas and friendships, and through it all, Marcus was by her side. Not just as a diplomat, but as a trusted friend. One evening, as they walked through the palace garden, Amara spoke quietly. "I didn't expect to feel this way about a human. You have changed my world." Marcus smiled gently. "And you have changed mine, Amara. You showed me what true courage looks like." They paused under the glowing trees, feeling the quiet peace between them. But beyond the city, challenges still waited. The galaxy was vast and full of unknown dangers, yet Amara and Marcus knew they would face whatever came together. Their story became a symbol a legend told across stars. It was a story of bravery, trust, and hope. A story that reminded all that even in the darkest times, courage and friendship could light the way. And so, a new dawn rose for the Kailari Empire and Earth. A dawn of alliance, bravery, and a future shared.